we start this?
Hey, my music people. You like old vinyl records?
Go ahead.
You like music that maybe is a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll? Then here's the show for you. Welcome, everybody, to Dustin Vinyl with your hosts, Dustin Chafin and Anthony Kapfer.
You can like riff off of Benny Hill, dude. You should work on that. I think you should try to riff off of it.
I know. I should have learned it. I didn't know it was going to happen again.
Benny Hill, man, and then just do like your version of the Benny Hill, like with a solo or something.
I keep forgetting that all of the shows have pre-recorded music now.
Maybe that's not going to work out. Maybe I'll change that. I just thought it was easier for Jay because Jay, he was sweating every time he had to do one. So I figured, hey, let's just do a recorded thing so you don't have to, get so nervous about it. And then now you don't like it. So I can't please anybody.
I don't mind it.
All right. It's just weird. I know it's weird. But, that's what it is. It's but the year's almost over, man. This is
I can't believe
it. Have you had a good year? I can't tell anything. You can't. It's hard to read.
Well, I'd say it was probably better than 2020. But
I think any year was better than 2020.
It's just a lot of stops and starts,
Okay.
A lot of false starts. I think now we're starting to realize this is pretty much it.
This is it, the end of the world. I like it. A little REM. Yeah, I think it's the best year of my life. So
Wow.
I feel like I finally started saying no, which is huge. I just kind of let go of things that were just ruining me, like running a club and all that stuff. And it just kind of concentrating on myself, I think is good to do. It's got a new manager this year I like. I've been touring with some good people. And I don't think I'm going to coach anymore because I flipped on a student the other day.
What happened?
Had a meltdown.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah, I'll talk about it.
I want to hear about this.
It's like, it's like, somebody, you just don't like them, but then it's like they give you money, but you still got to kind of teach them
I'm
and shit.
familiar.
Yeah. So you're like, all right, I still got to kind of like connect to this guy. And it's like, it was a group thing. I do this group writing thing. And it was like, and he kind of went after me in a way that I name drop a lot. And I was like, look, I can't help it that my friends are famous. I'm sorry that your friends work at Target. Like, that's not my problem. It's like, I happen to be friends with some people that may have done some things. And I just went after him, and it was just like, nobody likes you. And just, I went crazy.
Ooh.
I just went after him, but it was uncomfortable.
Nobody likes you.
But that's the kind of coach
like
I am.
Whiplash.
That's the kind of, I'm like Whiplash. I'll throw the mic stand at you, whatever it takes.
And it worked out pretty good for the main character in Whiplash. He got really good.
Yeah, nice. Back doing insurance commercials, but he had a good run. It's just one of those things where it's like, I think you outgrow things. You do them to a certain point, and sometimes in it's survival, whatever, you do what you got to do. You got to hustle. But I don't know, man. I just can't give my soul to comics anymore. I feel like I give it. I'm going to write a book. I think that's what I've decided. I'm going to finish. I started it. I'm going to finish this book on, my life with everybody. And I'm going to name drop a lot in that book.
Yeah.
So this guy's going to hate it.
That. Maybe call it name drop.
Call it name drop. Yeah, that'd be funny. But yeah, you got to change it up. You got to switch it up. So I'm excited. The year's, coming down a little bit. It's Christmas here. We'll do some, I'm getting in the spirit, as you can tell. I'm wearing the two shows in a row. I'm wearing the Santa hat.
I like that you said it's Christmas here. Like it's now Christmas over there where you are before it's Christmas everywhere else.
It's way more Christmas here than anywhere else. It really is. I am in Sunday River, Maine. It is mountains and it's snow. They have a gazebo. Like it's people walking around, look like they're in the Christmas Carol. I'm telling you. It's way more Christmas here than anywhere I've ever been in my life. Like New York has a cool like store Christmas thing with the windows and the Rockefeller. That's cool. But this is like, this is a Hallmark movie. I'm literally living in a Hallmark movie. My life is a Christmas cliche. So yeah, I went to some random pools with, I'm excited to get to the show today. But let's, random pool Christmas albums still. Mannheim Steamroller 35th anniversary edition. These guys are amazing. I don't know if you've heard them much. It's kind of electronica, orchestra, guitars. Okay. it's really it's phenomenal. It's good stuff. It's Chip Davis, I don't know, composer, but it's all the classics, but they do it's instrumental, so it's really cool. They'll do some like, kind of vocal stuff here and there, but just kind of, real 70s. This is the guy looks like, he's, I don't know if you can see it, but I don't know if we can see it, get the angle on it, but they're they're cool. Yeah. They're cool people, back in the 70s started this stuff, and it's just it's upbeat and just kind of groovy and different, it's like. And then I'm going to go classic. You're speaking of doobies, we got Willie Nelson. This is a really cool album. Pretty Paper. This is a really cool Christmas album by Willie Nelson, and I
like that artwork. It's supposed to look like
it's like a it's like you get a gift in the mail, and it's like you just it's like look at Willie's the stamp. Yeah, Willie's the stamp.
Oh, it's his face on the stamp. Oh, that's cool.
His face on
the
stamp because Willie is the stamp of country music and songwriting, and so this is.
And they used to use stamps for drugs. Right?
They did. You lick the stamp LSD? And get high. Yeah. Good for you, buddy. Way to know your history. That's how you were conceived. Your mom was at a Grateful Dead concert. She licked a stamp. She's in the back of a Volkswagen van, and here you are, buddy. It's really we're happy you're here. We're happy your mom did drugs, and but it's a lot of covers. It's Santa Claus Coming to Town, which I feel like every band covers that song. Pretty Paper, I think, is an original Willie Nelson, I believe. Christmas Blues, Rain, Rudolph, Jingle Bells. Got all the classics, But it's good, Willie's just got that voice that just like it's hard to be in a bad mood when you listen to some Willie Nelson. Willie's like he's just the best, man. He's like I don't know. He's like our Bob Dylan. Like he's the only one left. He's like one of the few left. I guess we still have Bob Dylan.
We have Bob Dylan, yeah.
I always forget he's still alive. Is he still alive? Well, Willie feels more alive. Like I've seen Willie in the past couple of years, and he's still like the concerts are amazing. Like he's still playing well. He's still doing solos on his guitar. Like he's going out with his son, and it's like the whole band, and his voice still sounds pretty good. And it's like I've heard Dylan not so much. I feel like it's more kind of turned into spoken word, and it's not the voice he had, and not that he had like a voice anyway, but it just feels. I think the last he was doing was like Sinatra covers or something. I don't know.
Oh, when the Bob Dylan voice starts to go, that's a problem. That was bad enough.
Yeah, I mean,
I like his stuff, but as a from a technical standpoint, as a singer, he was not great. So to lose that,
he was great for the time because folk is a different animal. You don't have to, it's more about what you're saying. So
that happened to Leonard Cohen too. At the towards the end, he it was a lot of spoken word. He didn't sing that much.
Yeah, I don't know. I do spoken word. You've worked on a track with me.
Yeah.
We
used to be on
spoken
Spotify.
Word music. Used to be on Spotify. They just kicked me off because they hate comedians. Apple Music, though, I've been rocking Apple Music, everybody.
How do you like it?
I love it. I think it's fantastic. Get off Spotify. Let's shut them down for the sake of the comedians because they took all our stuff off because they don't think it's an art form. So we have to switch to Apple Music because we know they care about the consumer. But every device I have is like shuts down because they want you to buy the new one. But Apple Music is great.
Apple Music, the cool thing about it is that when you're streaming an album for free at the bottom, you can click on the thing that says buy in the iTunes store.
Oh, cool.
So that's kind of a cool. It encourages at least.
I'm still getting comfortable with it, and it's got the videos and everything, which I like. And it's just good. And it's got all the albums. You can play the whole album and everything. It's not like if you get the premium, whatever. You get the 3-month trial. I'm a spokesperson now for Apple just because I'm so mad at Spotify.
You're so mad at Spotify that you work for Apple.
I still can't believe it. I still can't,
I was pretty shocked. And it happened with like, it was already done by the time there was any story about it. Like
Lewis Black came out. Like a few people tried to come out, but it's like, just unbelievable. So maybe they'll figure it out, but Apple Music is great. I'm excited today. We got an interesting album today. I have mixed feelings about it, and it's definitely going to be fun to talk about it. Let's bring in our dudes, Jeffrey, Paul, Adam Holt, everybody.
How are you guys?
What's up? How you doing, Jeffrey? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm so happy you're here. I hope you feel welcome.
He doesn't like talking to just us.
Feel welcome.
I
As long
would.
as you want to take a bullet for me, Dustin, that's all
I'd
that
take
matters.
a bullet. I said I would take a BB for Jeff off air. I said I would take a BB. I would take a BB
water
gun
pistol.
to the leg. I said I would.
Super soaker on a hot day
I would take a
to the leg.
Super soaker. I
I'm
would.
afraid a super soaker would mortally ruin Anthony.
Oh, now it's a roast. I knew the show would get mean
Come
eventually.
on, man. I've been working out. What do you think?
Good, man. He's just jealous because he'll never have that torso. Me neither.
look-
You got a good torso.
good.
You got that Iggy Pop torso, man. We're all trying to get that. So what's
Nice.
up, Jeff?
I
How
know.
you been, buddy? You good? You having a good holiday?
Yeah,
Getting ready for it?
You know what I've been doing like the last few weeks, a couple of weeks now? I've been really like dieting. I got an opportunity to audition for a bunch of these Hallmark movies. We were just talking about Hallmark and
Nice.
who you
Sure.
are.
That's great.
So, I got to get myself in better shape in order to do it.
Did they say
So-
that? You got to be buff?
They're kind of inclined, well,
How do they say? What do they say? How do they imply
Yeah,
it?
well,
do you have
without
to take
getting
your
sued?
shirt off?
no,
They do that a
no,
lot. They do that a lot.
There's kind of like a requirement that they want you to kind of look like, unless you're going to play a certain other type of role, which I don't think I'm ready for yet. I'm not ready to play a grandfather, the out of shape guy. I could still play, someone's brother, the guy who runs the company.
The
Those
guy
are
that's like
parts
the
that I
guy's the
usually
sexy guy chopping wood. Yeah, you
I'm
can
not.
do that.
I'm not that. No. That Anthony still has a shot. Not me. I'm done.
Oh, so that's another level. There's chopping wood, and then you want to get somewhere in the middle.
Could I
right?
be the
Okay.
There's
chopping
no
wood
way
guy?
I'm chopping wood guy. Stop. I'm not. Maybe 20
chop
years
wood.
ago, I was chopping
You
wood
can
guy.
chop
Not even
wood.
close
So what kind of
anymore.
roles do you go? Like, what are they thinking of you? You're saying like the brother of a businessman?
No,
I don't know.
usually a guy who runs the company.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
To be in a suit.
Who
Okay.
has to make chopping wood guy work on Christmas?
Oh, okay. So
You're
you're
the
kind of the
Scrooge.
dick.
You gotta
Yeah.
be- You're going for sexy Scrooge. I got it. Sexy Scrooge. Different
I
ball.
like that.
I like it. I
I
hope
could
you
be
get that.
father of chopping wood guy.
So
Okay.
you're the one who's like, I don't care what day it is. You're working late.
Nice.
Yeah, you're going to have to work Christmas Eve. I-
Have you
Okay.
seen the numbers?
Yeah,
Well, if you need
it's
any
always-
elves, let us
it's always
know.
some type
'cause-
of big business,
Yeah.
And
Nice.
and sexy wood guy has to choose between Christmas and big business.
Wow. We're rooting for you, man. We want you to be a Hallmark star. And we'll get you in shape. Anthony will get you in shape.
Yeah.
He eats tapeworms. That's how he does it.
That's the secret. People don't know.
He
But
just
this is
swallows.
the worst month to do it.
No, it's
To do
not.
what?
Just go to the gym.
To work out?
I do. I go
What do you
every
do?
day.
Eat a lot of bread? You probably eat a lot of bread. Just stop eating bread.
Now I stopped eating bread. I stopped eating pasta. I stopped
Yeah.
eating pizza.
Nobody
I
eats
stopped
that
all
shit anymore.
You drink
Nobody eats
beer?
that shit anymore.
You drink beer?
Yeah,
Come on,
no,
be honest.
I stopped drinking completely.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't eat pasta. You can't eat bread. You got to eat brown rice. If you're gonna do any carb, you got to do whole wheat, and that's it. And stay off the sugar and just
Yeah.
drink a
Well,
diet
Oh,
Coke or
Dustin, are
something.
you doing the Brad Pitt Fight Club diet thing?
I do until Christmas happened. I was doing it. I did like 5 days, but it was like, but I'm getting into it. I'm in pretty good shape, so I think I could pull it off. I just have to I got a
take your shirt
gym with
off.
a pool and everything.
Nice.
What's up?
Take your shirt off.
I will. You've been wanting to say that for years since we started this.
That was his original idea for a title.
I'll take
for the
a
show.
BB, but I'm not gonna take my shirt off for you unless you pay me. I'm not doing anything unless people pay me. If you pay me, I'll take it off. All right.
Check
that's
out
cool.
Dustin on OnlyFans.
I would. I'd show my feet, my dirty feet. I don't give a shit. Whatever it takes. It's
Dirty
I'm
feet.
sure there's somebody that's into dirty feet. You know there is. There's a
Oh,
fetish
there
for
has to
everything.
be.
Definitely.
People are gross. I don't know how they do it.
Dirty feet.
How you doing, Adam? You having a good time? What's going on
Oh,
over there?
shit.
Yeah, doing all right. Just been trying to do my Christmas shopping.
Yeah, who you got left?
Just
Who you
now
got left?
during the show.
Who you got left? You got me?
Look at
Yeah,
my
you got
iPad
me
here.
left? Who else you got? I know I changed your life. Who else you got?
I was actually at a vinyl store earlier trying to get one of my brothers is getting a record player for Christmas. So just trying to
Nice. Encourage it. I
got a
encourage
bunch
it.
of Springsteen albums for him.
Okay. Yeah, you're so consistent with the Springsteen, bro.
Oh, yeah. I got a weird mix of albums. Got him Journey, Escape. There's a lot of used albums. Springsteen. Got him some Kenny Loggins.
What kind of turntables are you getting?
Okay.
Kenny Loggins, hilarious.
Yeah.
The Caddyshack soundtrack's pretty good.
Well, no, it's just all songs of his that are on movie soundtracks.
Oh, okay.
Like a Record Store Day release.
That was the first time I saw a comedian. I think my family, we won on a radio show or something. We won tickets to Kenny Loggins, and Mario Joyner was opening for Kenny Loggins at this concert, and that was the first time I saw a comedian live. It was.
I'm not familiar with that particular comedian. Did he?
He wrote all of like Chris Rock's Rock show. He's like a big, comic back in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. Like he's a big deal. You should, if you're a comedian, you should know who that is. But you're like, I wasn't born in the 70s. I get it. But he's a big. You know who he is, right, Jeff? Mario Joyner?
Seinfeld.
Yeah,
he's on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Oh, who was
remember that
Seinfeld?
show, right? The black dude.
Yeah. Oh,
there's only like 4 times there was a black guy on the show. So.
The lawyer. He's the lawyer?
No.
No, that's Kapfer.
The lawyer was actually remember the black guy from Mission Impossible?
No.
The original Mission Impossible. No, the original Mission Impossible.
No. Nobody watched that.
Anyway, that's his son. No, Mario Joyner was on his famous episode of Seinfeld where they don't air it that much because it was the one with the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Yes.
Yeah.
The flag.
I remember that.
Right. And Mario Joyner's the guy he gets into an argument with.
Very cool.
Okay.
So now you know. I'm glad we went there,
now
guys.
I know who it is.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, what do you got for us today? Pretty excited. What do you got?
Okay. So we're talking about our favorite albums of 2021. And my favorite album of 2021 is Mammoth WVH. And that is Wolfie Van Halen's band. That's Eddie Van Halen's son. And he is the band on this album. He recorded everything himself. Does all the vocals. It's interesting. First, let's start with the name of the album, Mammoth, and the name of the band. That Mammoth was the name of Eddie and Alex's first band without David Lee Roth. And Eddie would play guitar and sing, and he really wasn't much of a frontman. Eddie could sing, but he didn't have that frontman charisma, and that's when they brought in Roth. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But Wolfie grew up around music. He spent 14 years playing bass for Van Halen. He played bass on 2 of Mark Tremonti's albums. Mark Tremonti, you may know from Alter Bridge.
Okay.
But this album itself doesn't sound like Van Halen. And I think some people may have been disappointed by that. I wasn't. I like that he found his own sound. To me, it sounds more like Stone Temple Pilots. It had like kind of like a pop sound, a hard rock sound, a heavy metal sound. And that kind of makes sense because the guy is now like 30, 31. So his influence was more like Tool and Foo Fighters, other than like The Who and Zeppelin. Yeah. When I listen to this album, it's an arena rock album. I saw them over the summer. Actually, Anna and I are going to go see them in a few weeks with Dirty Honey. But I think people that were expecting Van Halen or any type of Van Halen tribute may be a little disappointed in this album. But it's a good album on its own. I think Wolfie has a great voice. There are big choruses throughout the album. And just breaking down a couple of the tracks, like the opening track, Mr. Ed, obviously is about his father. And it sounds to me more like Foo Fighters or an Alice in Chains sound, especially the guitar. Has, I think, Jerry Cantrell quality to it. My favorite track on the album is Don't Back Down. If you get a chance, check out the video for it. You really get to see Wolfie's personality. It's funny. It's the video where he plays all the instruments. He's even the sound guy in the video. It's a fantastic hook. It's a fast-paced song. This should, if there was like real radio, this would have been the radio track. You're to Blame if you're a fan of Tool. You can definitely hear the Tool influence in here. Distance, which was the the first song released, but the final song on the album. If you check out the video, if you don't have a soul, I don't know how this doesn't touch you. It's a real tearjerker. It's the home movies of Eddie and his son and Valerie and the family. It's really, really touching. And actually translated very well in concert. And then I thought another one of my favorite songs on the album was Epiphany, which again, worked great in concert. And if you're going to say any song had any type of Van Halen element in it, I think this is the song, and that would be the middle section of the song. It reminded me a little bit of Van Halen, and Revolve had a bluesy sound. So to me, those were the songs that really stood out on the album. There are 9 songs on the album. I'd say 7 of them are really strong, quality songs. It was a tough spot for them in concert because they were opening for Van Halen, and so you're in this huge stadium, and they had a little part of the stage really to work with. And he's a decent front man. He'll definitely be better in a smaller venue. The band will be better in a smaller venue, and he put together a really strong band around him. So if you get a chance, folks, check out Mammoth WVH.
Very cool. Actually, just one quick thing about Mr. Ed. He had said this about it. He said, contrary to the title, this lyrically has nothing to do with Dad. It was the demo title because I harmonically tapped the intro. It just kind of stuck around. It's a tongue-in-cheek, funny title for the song. So even after the lyrics were done, I just decided to keep it. So I think a lot of people thought it was about his dad because it said Ed in it. But, that's just one of those things. That's brought to you by Apple Music because they have a breakdown of all the songs.
I'm looking at that also.
Everything came from.
Proud sponsor of Dustin's.
I'm gonna get him on here. But this, I wasn't sure about this, because it's funny because he was kind of a punchline for a while, when he was playing bass and stuff with Van Halen, and everybody wasn't very happy about it, So I feel like, and it's kind of one of those things too. It's like, it's a hard role. It's a hard place to be. And a very easy place to be when you're kind of brought up in that environment, because it's like, it's like you have access to the best people in the world, the best producers, the best musicians, because you just have all this access growing up around that, it's like, it's kind of like all these actors you find out like, that, their sister was a casting agent or somebody was a thing. So I'm not saying this kid isn't good. He's definitely talented, but I feel like, just being around all of that, I would hope that he would be able to produce a decent album. You know what I mean? Because you really have everything kind of at your fingertips, I thought it was definitely had a throwback to 2000 rock, or 90s, a little late 90s rock, it had that feel to it, which I don't like a lot of that stuff. I like some of it, but I don't like a lot of it. I feel like if you were to put in new rock into Apple Music, a lot of music would come up that sounds like this. And so I tend to go a little more towards, kind of even like a Pop Evil or something that's a little harder than this kind of like, anthem-y and kind of feel-goody kind of songs. So, but I thought it was good. I mean, you can't, if you're a human being at all, I mean, and you watch that Distance video, it's like, it's really sentimental, and that's a beautiful song. I feel like that's, him kind of remembering his dad and stuff. And there's some good licks on this. I think it's, there's a couple of songs that I liked. Distance, obviously, and then Resolve. Is that the slower one? I think that was the slower one. But
Resolve, that was the bluesy one.
Yeah, that was a bluesy. I like that one. I thought it was a kind of a breakaway. And then I think he said his father's favorite song was to Think It Over, which is kind of the more popular version of the song, which he said it kind of had a Blink 182 feel to it. And that was Eddie's favorite song of the album. And so I thought that was interesting to know, what he thought of it. I didn't realize he got to hear the whole thing. So that's pretty amazing. Or at least that song. I don't know how much of it that he was able to hear. But it was good. There's obviously, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you can definitely tell what kind of music he likes. by just all the influences from Audio Slave to, Rage to, there's just Stone Temple Pilots, like you said, there's just so many different influences in this. It's not something that I need to listen to it again. I feel like listening to it a little bit for the show and everything or listening to it a couple of times. I need to kind of get more into it. And then I feel I might appreciate it more. But yeah, like I said, it's like, and the fact that he plays everything is pretty impressive. Sometimes that's a good thing. And sometimes I think you bring in some people that might kind of originate your sound a little better. Like I feel like he needs an Eddie Van Halen, and I feel like maybe he needs somebody to kind of come in and kind of be the, kind of make the group a little richer than just being about this kid that can obviously play. I don't know. I think sometimes you need a band, you need a Slash, you need an extra guy, you need somebody that's really going to oomph the band. And I feel that would be the only criticism. They need somebody to come in and oomph the band and not be so narcissistic about just him. It's all him, all him, all him. It's like, because I don't know, Lenny Kravitz started out that way. And I think once he started to get a band, it's like it got bigger, and Prince even too, when he got Revolution, it got bigger. So I don't know. I just feel like he could use like maybe a couple extra guys and not just himself on maybe the next album. But that's my opinion on it. But I don't know how you feel about any of that rhetoric.
Yeah, no, I think like the live band that he put together now, I think that's going to be his band, and they're really, really.
And they're going to record together, or is it just going to be him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, and I would like to see him live because you can't really tell a band until you've seen them live. If you haven't seen them live, you truly don't know the band, in my opinion. It's like you have to see the band live. Anthony, how do you feel about this Mammoth?
I didn't expect to like it at all. I didn't care the video you were talking about, the home movie stuff.
Yeah.
That was the first song that I heard, and I didn't really like the song. And so I thought the whole album was going to be like that. But it was a lot better than I thought. It did remind me of this very specific kind of rock music from like late 90s to early 2000s. Like some songs sounded like that band Fuel to me. Some of it sounded like there's a band that was called Handsome. I don't know if you remember
Hanson?
those guys. Handsome.
Oh,
Handsome.
I would love it way more if you were referencing Hanson.
Yeah, rock song. It's no, this band Handsome was doing in like '97. They were doing this kind of rock and roll, and it was interesting because it's like this kind of pop rock, but it wasn't just mainstream bands doing it. It was like all the bands that were trying to ride the wave. Every band started to kind of sound like this.
Yeah,
towards the end of the 90s and into the 2000s, before like all the bands, the Strokes, the Hives, the White Stripes. Yeah. So it really reminded me of that, which I guess makes sense because that would have been when he was growing up too, if he's in his 30s,
Yeah,
he's 31 now.
So yeah, I liked. I heard some kind of like the first track sounded the most Stone Temple Pilots-y to me. But kind of reminded me of Stone Temple Pilots when they weren't as good, and like the last stuff they did with Scott Weiland. So it was good, but I don't, it's not. It's not my go-to.
Yeah, there's even a song called Stone. So yeah, I think they're very influenced.
Yeah, this reminded I don't know, some stuff sounded like that band Quicksand. I don't know if you guys know that. It was
heard of them. Yeah.
Just this very kind of specific sort of rock, but yeah, some cool riffs, and it's really cool that he played all the instruments. I didn't know that until I actually watched the video for that song where he's like playing all the roles. So I was like, oh, I wonder if he. And then I looked it up because I was like, oh, I wonder if he did that because he played all the instruments. And so that's probably the coolest part about the album for me, is that he did that.
Yeah, he's very talented. There's no escaping that. I mean, the whole family. I mean, so Alex is very talented as well, and like it's in their DNA.
Yeah.
So he could probably try that Hallmark diet that you're trying to get on, Jeff. If he wants to be a front man. Is that Dickie? I don't know. He's a big dude. So I wonder how it's going to work. I've never seen a big dude play guitar and sing. I've seen some big dudes sing. So, or play the harmonica or something. So it is
John Popper.
Different. Yeah, it's different,
Jerry Garcia.
Yeah, it's true. Jerry Garcia. That's probably the famous one. But you probably can't name three more. Bad dudes with guitars.
Big dudes playing guitar.
B.B. King.
Blues is different. That's a different genre. We're talking like I'm talking like rock frontmen. That's where I'm trying to be specific at.
The dude from the Melvins, Buzz.
Yeah, nobody knows who that is.
Pat the Nunzio Smithereens.
Oh yeah,
was he big? Because I like the Smithereens.
He got over 300 pounds at one
Did he?
point.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Pixies.
They were good.
Frank Black.
He's not
Black Francis.
fat. He's a big boy, but he ain't.
I mean, he's not. He's probably not 300 pounds, but he's a bigger dude.
I like the direction that this went into.
I got to keep it funny. All right, Adam, what do you think, buddy?
So I was trying to figure out what this album reminded me of, and I'd say it kind of reminded me of the recent Pretty Reckless album.
Yes,
it was.
Felt that too. I felt that too.
Yeah, where it's it definitely has that 90s 2000s vibe, but every song you're kind of, I didn't really connect with it, and the same thing with the Pretty Reckless. I didn't connect with it emotionally, but I thought that each song I heard, I would just keep thinking, oh, where have I heard this? What does this sound like?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Wolfgang's incredibly talented, and I think this is going to be. It's just like the Pretty Reckless. This is an album that this is a band that you really have to experience live.
Yeah, and I think maybe third album in, he'll probably grow and grow and grow. It's like and that's a lot of bands. It's like you let them find it, and that's the best thing he can ever do is tour, because just like and that's how you get better. So far as, I'm excited to hear his band actually. And I think he's great. And I think doing that is pretty cool that he did that. Not a lot of people can do that. Prince could do that. Like there's certain people that could do that, like all the instruments, but
Billy Corgan.
It's just, yeah. So there's some people that can do it. Yeah. Anthony's always in that conversation when I talk about always. The Foo Fighters kid, what's his name? Dave Grohl. Yeah, that kid. He can do it.
Yeah. And it's interesting as you're talking about having that guy that kind of elevates the band. And for the Foo Fighters, that was Taylor Hawkins, the drummer.
Yeah, he's sexy too.
Tight.
You need somebody sexy, man. You need some sex appeal.
Guy. Yeah.
I'd be the worst record producer ever. All right, this is pretty good. You're Van Halen and everything, but we need some sex appeal. I mean, look what Dave. Everybody hated Dave, but look what he did. They sucked when he left. All right.
They didn't suck. No, they were good they were still good when
I didn't care for
what was Sammy
Hagar.
Yeah, I love Sammy.
I didn't love Sammy. I
like Gary Sharon more than I like Sammy Hagar.
Oh, yeah, no way. And Gary Sharon was good, but I love Sammy.
It was jock rock, it was good. It was sentimental and stuff. There was some it's feel good radio music for sure.
Yeah, it was good for selling Pepsi.
It was up to time, though.
But the first Van Halen album, it still holds up. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. So it's just, you don't hear like the Sammy Van Halen and think, oh my God, I got to hear that again. You hear it on the radio. You're like, that's a pretty good song, whatever. But it's like, it doesn't, I don't know. Just doesn't feel
It seemed like they were having more fun. I've seen like some of the live stuff that they've released, like the live videos that they've released.
Yeah.
Like the first tour that they did with Sammy Hagar. It seemed like they were having a blast. So I get why they were excited about it.
It was a different time, It's like,
I saw that tour. I saw that first tour with Dave, and I saw that first tour with Sammy. It's basically different bands. It's almost like a different type of music. There's more keyboards when Sam joined the band.
Yeah. Did they do a lot of the earlier stuff? Did Sammy Hagar sing the David Lee Roth stuff?
Just a few. Like they on the first tour, it was like songs like Panama. You had to do. I'm trying to think if it was like even Running with the Devil. But as they moved on,
I can't imagine that even happening.
Yeah, but as they went on, they really started doing less and less Dave songs and just really did the Sam.
They had a lot of hits with Sammy.
Oh yeah, Right Now was huge, and 3 songs off of 5150.
You got to remember, guys, Limp Bizkit was huge one time. So sometimes the public doesn't always know. Kid Rock was gigantic.
Oh man,
Kid Rock was gigantic. There's bands but he was huge.
Even Smash Mouth had their day.
They did. Right. They had 2 songs. They did. But that's the thing is you can't always judge. And, I always say it on here, that era in time wasn't the best time for music. And so I think, people just a lot of keyboards and a lot of crap and stuff that maybe I don't know. Nobody David Lee Roth kind of said it best. Nobody wants to see you play keyboards. They want to see Eddie Van Halen play guitar. And I think he kind of nailed it. And that was true because when he came back and they did those reunion things, it's like people got a little more excited about it, I think.
But you know what, Eddie was trying to get away from that. You saw it on the most popular album with David. At least the album that sold the most was 1984. And what was the song? Jump was such a departure of anything they've ever really did.
That was also MTV though. That's why that was so big. Like MTV popped that whole thing. That whole Van Halen album was all MTV. It was everywhere. So it was like that video Panama was on every 5 seconds, and it's like, so I can see that had a lot to do with it, but it definitely doesn't compare to the first 4 albums or whatever. I don't know.
But I'll take that over any Sammy Hagar stuff. I'll take 1984.
We know. How about the Eagles doing Van Halen songs? Are you into that?
Did anyone pick Van Weezer as their favorite album of the year?
Ugh.
I did. I liked it. I thought not album of the year. It was better than that Foo Fighters album. But
I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better than that. Hero is a great song. I think that's a good cruising song. I thought I like that you have to look at that album, Anthony, as a tribute album. And so if you look at it like that, it's not bad. If you look at it like it's trying to be better than, the first 2 or 3 or whatever, you can't. You got to be like, all right.
Yeah, it's its own. But I like very little of the new stuff they've put out, but I liked the OK Human album. I thought that one was really good. So that when they put out in the same year Van Weezer, I was like, oh, come on. They finally had a good one, and you don't even milk it.
I think bands get momentum, and they think, and they get excited, and they're, COVID was good for bands actually, because they were actually locking themselves into studios and stuff because they weren't touring. And so they were playing around and being imaginative. And I think that's why the Foo Fighters got a disco album and shit. Like people were just doing weird stuff because it was like, what else are we going to do? We're just going to sit here and look at each other. We can't go to arenas anymore. So I think a lot of bands were exploring that a little bit and kind of playing around. The Strokes album I think that was a year that was right at the end of 2020, but that was not the Strokes, Struts. Yeah, Struts. I thought that was a great album. Their last album was really good. It finally came on vinyl. Yeah.
You guys should thank me. I almost picked the Iron Maiden Shinzitsu album. It's a double album of Iron Maiden. I just didn't think Anthony would be able to handle it.
Anthony likes Maiden.
I like some Maiden stuff. Yeah. I don't know what their new stuff is like.
Can you handle a double album of Maiden?
Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
was it new music or just
Metallica was my first concert?
All new music.
So Maiden's not that far.
Which the other day I heard a Maiden album song or an album song. Maiden's Writing on the Wall. Which one is that on? That's a really good song.
Sounds like that would be the album title. It's like a
they don't have an album Writing on the
Wall. I don't know. I like the song though. It came on, and then they had a. It was like, what was it else? Chris Cornell covered something that was really great. It was he covered Patience by Guns N' Roses. Because you do a lot of radio out, and so in Maine or whatever. So it's like, but that was really good. I've never heard that before. Him covering Patience, and it was really, really good. I love that. I missed that guy. He was so good.
Yeah, he was great.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah. All right. So it's Christmas time. So if anybody's listening and want to send us albums, this is a little segment on, what album would you want as a gift? Like, what do you not have on vinyl? I don't think Jeff has any vinyl yet. He got rid of all his vinyl back in the 80s. So he's probably got a long list.
It's on the new album, Dustin.
Oh, what?
Writing on the Wall is on their new album.
It is on the new album. Okay, it's pretty good.
It's a new one.
That's a good song. Yeah. It was good. I felt like it was. It was a quality song. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was a little departure from what they usually do, but I enjoyed it. It was good. It's a little bluesier, even for them. I don't know how much you can blues out Maiden, but they, there was a little bit of a lick there. I need more albums. I have quite a few, but I definitely the White Album is something that I feel like I don't have, and I need that as part of the collection. I have Abbey Road, I have Revolver. I have quite a few Beatles albums, but I don't have that one. I feel like I lack in the Pink Floyd department. I have Dark Side of the Moon. I have The Wall, but I would Animals or Wish You Were Here. Those are albums I would like to have that I think would just kind of complete that Pink Floyd experience, because something like Pink Floyd is really good on vinyl. What else do I want? Daft Punk.
Yeah.
I really want that. I know Jeff hates it, but I think that'd be a good one to have. Unknown Pleasures, Joy Division. I'd like to have that one. Guys, also, if you're in the chat, if you could just let us know albums that you would want on vinyl that you think would sound great. What else is there? Sketches of Spain, Miles Davis. I have quite a few Miles Davis. I don't have that one. I had it on CD back in the day. Kenny Burrell, Midnight Blue. That's a really good album. And those are just kind of some. And I don't have Nirvana. Nevermind. I don't have that one. So I think that's something I should have in my collection. So those are just a few albums I think I would love to when I keep this really bad addiction that I have of overspending money on albums. It's just ridiculous. I barely have eggs, but I'll have like 3 new albums. I'm like, okay, we're gonna eat food stamps, but we got a great vinyl collection.
Yep.
What about you, Adam? What are some vinyls you would like to have?
Well, first we got in the chat, we got Tasty Snacks says Beastie Boys' first album.
Oh, okay. That is a great album. Yeah. So what's that one called? What's that one called?
License to Ill.
License to Ill.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first one. All right, that would be great. Yeah, Beastie Boys would be fun. I don't know how I feel about them on vinyl. Like I feel like some music that feels so. I don't know. That was such
That's actually how I first heard them, because my uncle had License to Ill
on vinyl.
And he used to just play it, and that's how I first heard. I was just a little kid.
Okay, so that was before CDs, right? That was cassettes. It was cassettes and vinyls,
that
right?
Was like, I think so. That was like 80.
I heard it on cassette. 86? So that's
okay.
That felt like that was a cassette era. I feel people weren't buying albums.
I can see that. Yeah.
It was cassettes. Like that was the big deal,
Yeah. That makes sense.
All right, Adam. Sorry.
So you were saying Daft Punk before, Random Access Memories. I just saw it at the store I was at today. I was so close to buying it. It was too much though. But I think it would be a great one to have on.
You should get it
vinyl.
for Jeff when he gets his new. He's gonna get a new record player.
Right.
He's gonna get a record player this year. That's gonna be one of the first ones he puts on there. I just know it.
Man, I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to listening to some more stuff.
You got to do the whole experience. You got to put on a helmet, and then you just have to do some Molly. You'll be great.
So I was there was this Christmas soundtrack I've been wanting to get. It came out Record Store Day 2 years ago, and it sells for hundreds on eBay. But it's one of my favorite Christmas movies, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. It's all Paul Williams songs too.
Paul Williams, how old are you? That's hilarious that you know this. Yeah.
Wait, Dustin, didn't you break that out last year?
Did I? I did John Denver Muppets. I did.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, that was John Denver Muppets last year. Yeah, it was similar. Yeah.
But yeah, that one, I always look for it. I missed out on it at Record Store Day, but it would be a pretty good one. I want to get Radiohead's OK, Not OK, 97 to 2017. It's their 20th anniversary album of OK Computer.
Oh, okay.
And just the second, that's, at least to me, probably one of my favorite albums of all time. And the second album, which just all B-sides, is just a solid album by itself too.
Yeah. Do you have a Radiohead tattoo, Adam?
I did get I did buy a few weeks ago the Kid A Amnesia triple LP, which Kid A Amnesiac 20th anniversary.
Oh, that's cool. Is that Rhinestone Cowboy cover? Is that on any of the Radiohead albums?
Yeah, that was on. It was on an import, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll check that out.
Yeah, one of their early imports.
Yeah, very cool. What about you, Anthony?
So there's I try to get like where I can. I try to get original pressings of
yes, that's
records.
The best way to go. Yeah.
And there's a band when I was on tour in 2019. Me and my friend, wherever any city that we went to, if we went into a record store, we were looking for an original pressing of No Means No, their album Wrong.
Okay.
Which is impossible to find. I think only one record store ever carried it.
What's it called again? No Means No.
The band, yeah, that's the name of the band. No Means No. The album's called Wrong.
Okay, let's see if we can find that on. See if that's on eBay.
A major label, Anthony?
I forget what label it was on. They were a Canadian. They were from Vancouver, and they weren't that big. Probably came out in I think '89 or something like that. But it's really cool. I mean, it's kind of hardcore punk, but it's like got like some prog rock and some jazz influences. So it's like intricate, aggressive punk music, and it's really good. And so that was one that I was looking for everywhere. And that one, it's not even streaming. So I had to buy it from the iTunes store to even be able to listen to it, on my phone or whatever.
Check that out.
So
Very
that,
cool.
and also there was some reissue of Weezer's Blue album was on pink vinyl.
Oh, nice.
And I thought that would be cool to have the Blue album on pink vinyl.
Wow, that's great.
There you go. I like that. Jeff, how was Hailstorm?
Hailstorm, it got postponed to next month, but it's supposed to go with my niece, and she was very disappointed because she really likes Evanescence.
Yeah,
that's what I was taking. So, so we went out anyway. I didn't want to disappoint her. Let's see. So some of my albums that I would want on vinyl, I would go with I like Rush Moving Pictures.
Yeah, that'd be a good one to have.
Tom Sawyer and Limelight on that.
Sure,
you're right with Wish You Were Here. I mean, I don't. That'll fill up any record collection. I was just thinking like an album like Pet Sounds.
Pet Sounds is great.
I think I would want that too. Yeah, because I hear about it, but I haven't really listened to it from like
I mean, like the hits like God Only Knows, Wouldn't It Be Nice?
I just haven't listened to the album in full, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's great. That's a good choice.
And maybe even like London Calling. I mean,
I have that one. That's so good on vinyl.
That's a great album.
And the thing is, which song is it Train in Vain? That's like the hidden track that's written on the on the vinyl. And that's what's great about vinyl, that you can do those little sneaky things.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool.
So those are three off the top of my head that I was thinking of.
That's great. Very cool. All right. Anybody else? Any other vinyls you want? So just keep buying vinyl, guys. Support record stores. Anthony, tell us a little bit about your album that people can purchase. Tell us the kind of the mood behind the album that you came out with this year. Talk about it.
Oh yeah. Well, I put out 2 albums this year. The first one came out in June, which is called I Can't Believe It's Not Better. And so that's kind of it's funny songs, but it's a kind of more aggressive rock and roll album, kind of noisy.
Okay.
And then just this week, now it's on streaming services, I re-released an old album called Songs for Children to Cry To, which is a fake kids album.
Cool. And what's the one on vinyl, the 7-inch?
I have. So that has it has 4 songs from I Can't Believe It's Not Better.
Okay.
See that?
Oh, that looks cool.
Where can people buy that, Anthony?
They can buy it from music.anthonykapfer.com.
Nice.
And I did the artwork for it. So
very cool. Your collage work is sick, man. It's good stuff.
Thank you.
Anthony, which album has D is for Divorce?
That's the Songs for Children to Cry To. It's the first track on it's I guess technically my newest album.
Because Jeffrey's wife loves that song.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
His face.
I love you, Jeff. A BB in the leg. All right. Once you play us we got a little time here, but we will shoot me. I guess I'll take it. All right, Anthony. Once you play us out 2 songs, one from the one this year, and then one from the one you just released. Is that cool? Put you on the spot.
Yeah.
We got a little time to fill, so let's do it.
Okay. All right. Let's see. What can I?
We'll do 2 songs, 1 and 1.
2 songs. Okay. I know what I'm going to do. So this is from This is from I Can't Believe It's Not Better. What would you say if I asked you a rhetorical question, hypothetically? And what is the meaning of life? Tell me yes or no. That was a trick question. Or was it? I don't know. I don't have all the answers now. How could I when I don't even have all the questions? Ironically, I complain that I do not get sarcasm. Isn't that just great? I want to be a positive person, but that seems so unlikely. Sometimes I think my mind is playing tricks on me, therefore I'm always right. People say that happiness is a choice, but I can never make up my mind. And I know I'm getting older, 'cause now I'm old enough to remember being younger. And now I reminisce about nostalgia, 'cause it used to be better. What if the good old days never happened, but we just don't remember? The future's running late. This trip down memory lane is taking us forever. I always hear people say that money can't buy happiness. But what if I paid them off? Maybe then they'd finally shut up about it. Nothing would make me happier. Don't bother to explain. It'll just go in one ear and right out the other. I don't know anything, but I think therefore I am, or well at least I think so. I am so totally vain. I probably think this song is about me, even though it's vague. But enough about Carly Simon, let's talk about me.
Yeah. Nice. Do we do Deeds for Divorce?
Oh, okay, I could do that. I was going to do a shorter one, but I can do that one.
We can do that for Jeff. For Jeff's wife.
On the album, it's just a kind of acoustic with a string section, but I'll play it now with some drums and stuff.
Yeah, kind of plug it in, baby.
This is from Songs for Children to Cry To, streaming now. A is for apples, they are delicious, and they're also very good for you. B is for balloons at your birthday party. That was a good one, everybody danced. C is for cookies, they are so tasty, but they're just a sometime snack. And D is for divorce, that your parents filed for. Yeah, D is for divorce. They don't love each other anymore. E is for every time that you're with them, all they do is fight and fight all day. F's the frustration that you are feeling, 'cause the pain inside won't go away. G is for the good times that are over. Things are different now, you have two homes. And D is for divorce. They might say it's not your fault. Yeah, D is for divorce, but you'll never really know for sure. The weekend comes and Dad is home, but it's just for visitation. He takes you back to his new bachelor pad and cries his eyes out on the couch, 'cause Mom has got a new boyfriend, and you can call him Dad if you want. And we sing la 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 la. T is for divorce. Everybody sing along. La 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 la. T is for divorce.
Yay! Nice job, Anthony. I think that
Thank
song
you.
would help a lot of kids. They should play that at elementary schools across the country.
It's educational.
It is, it's what it is. Thank you, everybody. Great show today. Thank you, guys. I love you guys. I take BBs for all of you. And really happy that we're doing this show. It's a lot of fun. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, everybody. Comedy Hub. This is great. And have a happy New Year, Merry Christmas, all that fun stuff. And we'll see you next year. January 4th, we'll be back. Love you.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye. Yay.